Shalom, everybody. Welcome to a brand new programming into 5786. Otiyot HaGeulah is unlike any other program that I have been offering to you in the 15 years of leading and running Ahavat Ammi channel. You see, as we are approaching closer to Acharit Hayamim, to the last days, it is important for all of us to start to understand the concepts of Acharit Hayamim through a Jewish lens. Every week, I'm going to be introducing you, sometimes from the parashas, sometimes from other resources, for one concept that is critical in understand the days that we are living in Chasidut. You see, Chasidut is really aimed to prepare us for the last days. And I would like to train you and equip you in some of those concepts that you will understand and get yourself ready. And perhaps also reading my books like the Return of the Kosher Pig, The Fall of Edom, The New Hamas, The Jewish DNA of Romans 11. Perhaps it will give you a better glance into a Jewish eyesight, a Jewish glasses to understand those books. As always, this is not a substitution or replacement for our Yeshivat Shuvu. And I encourage everybody to join us at Yeshivat Shuvu International in those last days. It's going to be absolutely marvelous and epic, and I'm really looking forward to have you in our yeshiva. This very first lesson, I would like to introduce you to two concepts that are very important that we see here clearly in the book of Bereshit. Hamtakah and Havdalah. Two important Hebrew words that are critical if we are to understand the process of the Geulah meaning the redemption. In the book of Genesis, chapter 1, we are reading the story of creation, a story that you are very familiar with. Remember that in the end of the book of Revelation, and also in the end of the book of Isaiah, we read about the new heaven and the new earth that are going to be created for the righteous with the coming of the Messiah. In essence, we all will be able to return back to the garden in those days. The story of the garden and the creation of the garden is the story of Geulah, because redemption is cyclical rather than linear. Now, the two concepts that I want to introduce you today to, as we are to look at the stages of the coming of the Messiah today, is the term Hamtakah and the term Havdalah. If we are to read the story of Genesis through a Messianic lens, we will notice something very important. It says in Genesis 1:4, Vayar Elokim et haor, ki tov vayavdal Elokim bein haor ubein hachoshet. And the Lord will see the light. The light is good, and He is going through a separation of the light and the darkness. The Hebrew word that is used here in the text is the word Vayavdel. The word Vayavdel coming from the Hebrew word Havdalah. Havdalah is the very first step in redemption. Havdalah is the separation of the sheep and the goat. Genesis 1:4, which is a mirror of this last days, of the final creation of the heaven and earth, tell us that it's going to be a time of Havdalah between the light and between the darkness. Now, he did say here in the text that he saw that the light was good. The light, our rabbis tell us, is the light of the Messiah. You see, that is called Hamtakah. Literally means to sweeten something, to lower the decrease. So while there is going to be a separation of sheep and goats, this is exactly what Matthew chapter 25, Yeshua spoke about. It's Genesis number 4. Listen to this carefully. There is going to be also Hamtakah, because the light is good. And here Rashi, he says in the context of this verse that this is the time of the last days. He says that there will be a separation between the wicked and the righteous. Incredible. Exactly what Yeshua is telling us. And he connected it to Genesis 1:21 when he says, Vayivra Elohim et hataninim agdolim. What is that? This is Satan and Leviathan and Lilith and all of those forces that are going to come against the righteous in the last days. Yes, those forces going to come against all people, but those who are going to be set apart, live their life in holiness and godliness, go through the Havdalah, they will experience Hamtakah. Remember this. Havdalah leading to Hamtakat Adim. So set yourself apart, be holy, and then you will be able to go to Hamtakah and overcome all decrees of Satan and his army. This is Otiyot HaGeulah for this week. I'll see you next week.